Her message arrived at 11:47 p.m. A single line. Casual, almost bored. My boss paid for my hotel. I owe him a fun night. Don't wait up. I read it twice. The words didn't change. They didn't shake or apologize. They just existed, like she had finally said something she'd been wanting to say for a long time. For a moment, I couldn't feel my hands. It was the quiet sort of numbness, the kind that doesn't panic, doesn't scream. It just absorbs. The hotel address followed a second later, almost like she wanted me to know. Or maybe she wanted me to stay away. I stared at the screen. The room felt smaller, tighter, my breathing too controlled, too steady, like my body was preparing itself for a truth my mind hadn't caught up to yet. There was no fight in me, no begging, just a cold expansion under my ribs, a space opening for something inevitable. I didn't reply. I didn't call. I simply stood, put on my coat, and walked out into the night. Every step quiet, calculated, as if the world had shifted into a slower frame rate just for me. The truth was there, waiting behind a hotel door. I could feel it. I could taste it. But I wasn't going there to knock. Not yet. The next morning began with silence. Her side of the bed remained untouched. Her perfume lingered in the air. Floral, expensive, borrowed confidence. I sat at the table with my coffee, untouched, watching the steam fade. She walked in at 8:12 a.m., hair messy, shirt buttoned wrong, eyes avoiding mine. "Long night?" I asked. She froze. That 1-second pause told me everything I needed to know, but she smiled through it, a brittle, careless smile. "Work stuff, you know how it is." A lie wrapped in a grin, a rehearsed tone. She didn't even have the energy to mask it well. I watched her move around the kitchen, pretending nothing had happened, pretending she hadn't told me the truth by assuming I wouldn't act. People think betrayal is loud, that it screams, but it's quiet, dead quiet. It lives in the way she avoided my eyes, in the way her phone remained face down, in the faint bruise on her collarbone she tried to hide under her hair. I didn't ask. Questions give hope, hope that things can be explained. I didn't want hope. Instead, I listened, to her voice, to her excuses, to the parts of her story that didn't connect. She talked too much. She always talked too much when she was lying, words spilling faster than thoughts, loose threads everywhere. And I pulled every single one. By the time she left for work, the picture was forming, crooked, ugly, undeniable. But I wasn't done. I needed proof. Not for her, for the moment when the truth would no longer be something she could run from. I started with the hotel, a polite call, a calm voice, a request for a duplicate invoice for company reimbursement. They emailed it within minutes. Room 417. 2 guests checked in under her boss's corporate account. Then came her location history. Shared devices make secrets sloppy. 12:03 a.m., 12:27 a.m., 1:52 a.m., all within the room. I studied each timestamp, each movement, not with jealousy, but with calculation. Next was HR, acquired inquiry, a question about manager-employee boundaries I presented as hypothetical. The HR officer's silence said enough.
People underestimate how easy it is to trace the truth. All you need is patience and silence. By afternoon, I had everything. The invoice, the security footage stills, the HR complaint drafts anonymously filed months ago. Pieces of a puzzle she thought she could scatter. I walked through the day detached, almost clinical, as if this wasn't my life unraveling, but a case file I was assembling. At 6 p.m., I met someone I never expected, his wife. She'd been collecting evidence too, screenshots, late-night receipts, patterns that mirrored mine. When she saw the hotel invoice, her lips pressed into a thin, murderous line. "We confront them?" she asked. I shook my head. No. We let them confront themselves. Because the truth hits harder when the liar opens the door to it. The evidence arrived that night. Security footage from the hallway, courtesy of his furious wife. There they were, laughing, touching, entering the room at the same time. No struggle, no hesitation, no misunderstanding. When I showed her the still image, she paled. Where "Where did you get that?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She stared at the photo like it was dissolving her from the inside, her breathing shallow, hands trembling. "Say something," she begged. I only asked one quiet question. "Did you think I wouldn't find out?" Her face collapsed. Slow, silent, crushed under the weight of the truth she had crafted with her own hands. I stayed still, detached, watching her unravel. The evidence wasn't for me. It was for the look in her eyes now. The look of someone seeing their carefully constructed lie fall apart with surgical precision. The next morning, I walked into the hotel with his wife on my right and the HR officer on my left. My heart didn't race. My hands didn't shake. I felt nothing. We stood outside room 417. The same room. His wife knocked. A sharp, clean knock. The door opened. And there she was. My wife. Hair messy. Shirt misbuttoned. Eyes widening as they locked onto me, then onto the two women flanking me. Her boss appeared behind her, half-dressed, paling instantly. No one spoke. I stepped forward, handed her the printed invoice, and waited. Her lips parted. No sound came out. Then she whispered the only thing she could manage. "You weren't supposed to be here." And I realized something. She wasn't sorry. She was caught. I turned away. Not because I was defeated, but because the game was over. I walked out of the hallway before anyone else moved, each step lighter than the last. Outside, the air felt clean, sharp, unforgiving. Funny how betrayal clears things. No confusion, no doubts, just clarity carved from silence. She called after me, a broken sound, a plea or a sob I couldn't tell. I didn't turn around. Some endings don't need dramatics. Some truths don't need words. By the time I reached the street, I felt empty in the best possible way. A space finally cleared of lies. And in that hollow quiet, I realized she didn't lose me. She revealed who she truly was. And I simply stepped out of her shadow. I didn't close the door behind me. I let the truth do it for me.